Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद। Hare Krishna, I welcome you all for today's session, and I seek your blessings so that whatever I speak is in the Guru Parampara and for the pleasure of the Lord. Now let us start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavauscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanshcha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna all. Let us start with today's session. Can you switch on your cameras? And can somebody say just 1 or 2 points from last class?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
There were 3 modes of material nature, of which the living entities were attracting for the 3 modes. In the different modes, their attitudes and their food and culture all are well explaining in this chapter, I think, Mataji.
Yes, food, charity, this austerity, sacrifices in different modes are described, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Anybody else wants to say something, or we'll proceed for today's session? Okay. So today you have completed till verse number 20, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, so we'll start with verse number 21 today. Yes, who wants to recite?
May I, Mataji?
Yes.
यत्तु प्रत्युपकारार्थं फलमुद्देश्य वा पुनः दीयते परिक्लिष्टं तद्दानं राजसंस्मृतम्. Shall I read?
Yes, you can read the translation.
Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. But charity performed with the expectation of some return or with a desire for fruitive results or in a brooding mood is said to be charity in the mode of passion. Shall I read purport?
Yes, read the purport also.
Purport. Charity is sometimes performed for elevation to the heavenly kingdom and sometimes with great trouble and with repentance afterwards. Why have I spent so much in this way? Charity is also sometimes given under some obligation at the request of a superior. These kinds of charity are said to be given in the mode of passion. There are many charitable foundations which offer their gifts to institutions where this sense gratification goes on. Such charities are not recommended in the Vedic scripture. Only charity in the mode of goodness is recommended. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. So these actually 3 verses, 20, 21 and 22, they are talking about charity in 3 modes. Now in this chapter, we know that everything is, Krishna is describing everything serially, right? Austerity in 3 modes, that is goodness, passion and ignorance. Then food in 3 modes Krishna has described. Now also sacrifices in 3 modes Krishna has described. And now he is describing charity in 3 modes. So in 20th verse, Krishna talked about charity in the mode of goodness. How it is, that is the charity given out of duty, then without any expectation of return at the proper time and place and to a worthy person. That is the charity in the mode of goodness. And now here Krishna is talking about the charity in the mode of passion. Okay, so charity performed with the expectation of some return. That right. So sometimes people think that somebody is in need of money, so I will give him money right now, and when I need, he will return it back to me, and that is with some expectation that they want that person to help them afterwards. So that is charity with some expectation or some return. Nowadays, you must be knowing there is a concept of return gifts in any birthday. Correct? Children are we are celebrating children's birthdays and all, and the children which come for that birth birthday celebration, no, they have that thing in mind that what I will get as return gift. Correct. So previously in olden days, there was no concept like this. Correct. Everybody, birthday or something is just to take blessings from the elders. That was the concept. Correct. But nowadays, it is like something in return everybody wants. So what is there in it for me? Then only people want to do certain anything basically. Okay, if there is nothing for my benefit, then I'm not interested in doing such thing. That is the mindset of people nowadays. So that is charity in or some people they give charity, but they want their name to come in newspaper, or whatever cha- I mean whatever funds they are giving, they want that that hall should be named after them, or somewhere their name should come. So again, this is with expectation of some return, correct? And sometimes somebody is asking you again and again, no, please give some charity, that is good and all. So he is behind you, and at that time, no, just no, reluctantly or with grudging mentality, like, okay, you are asking so many times, I will give you. So that way, sometimes people tend to give charity. So that charity is again in the mode of passion. And then actually, it is said in last line, only charity in the mode of goodness is recommended, because that is the best charity. And actually, we know that everything belongs to Krishna, isn't it? Whatever we are getting in this material world, everything belongs to Krishna. So we should not hesitate to give him, no, uh, give him the things back which he has given us. Correct? So that should be our mood. As we should always keep this thing in mind that ultimately everything belongs to him only. So let us, this was charity in the mode of passion. And now next shloka, Krishna will talk about charity in the mode of ignorance. Yes, Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Adesha kale yad dhanam apatrebhyascha diyate asatkritam avagnatam tat tamasam udartham. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And charity performed at an impure place at improper time to unworthy persons without proper attention and respect, it is said to be a mode of ignorance. Contributions for indulgence in intoxication and gambling are not encouraged here. The sort of contribution is in the mode of ignorance. Such charity is not beneficial. Rather, sinful persons are encouraged. Similarly, if a person gives charity to a suitable person, but without respect, without attention, that sort of charity is also said to be in mode of darkness. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So here Krishna is talking about charity in the mode of ignorance. So how it is a adesha kali, that means at impure place, improper time, apatrebhya means to an unworthy person, correct, without proper attention and respect. That is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Tamo guni dan, it is called as. Uh, so, like when giving charity, we have to see, to whom we are giving the charity, because that person may misuse that money, whatever charity you are giving, that he may misuse. So uh, we have to find out whether you are giving it to a worthy person or not. Otherwise, it will be charity in the mode of ignorance. Like suppose if a person comes and says that give me some money because I want to drink wine. And if you say, okay, I will give you. So then what kind of charity is this? This is not to a worthy person, isn't it? So that why it is not worthy? Because you are giving charity to a sinful activity, correct? And this is that activity which is detrimental to that person's well-being, spiritual well-being, we can say. So that is not a proper charity, correct? And again, it is saying that without courtesy, without disregard, without following any rules or regulations, it is given, that is in the mode of ignorance. Also, yeah. So basically, Krishna now Krishna has explained about all these things: yajna, dana, tapa, that is sacrifices, then austerities, charity, and also food in the three modes, that is goodness, passion, and ignorance. So actually, to perfect life, the only simple formula is you have to go to all items in the mode of goodness. We can You can go through all the shlokas again, and you can find out what all things come under the mode of goodness, under sattva guna, and just study them, meditate on them, and try to apply them in the life, and then we can make our life perfect, isn't it? So ultimately, the goal of our life is going back to Godhead, isn't it? So this chapter, this jnana, this knowledge of this chapter, we can practically apply in our lives to make our life perfect and going back to Godhead. So we should study these kinds of things from this chapter, and then we can perfect our life. So sattva guna is like mode of goodness. It is like an airport, and beyond the three gunas, or beyond the three modes of material nature, is the vishuddha sattva, where you can develop love for Godhead, correct? So like a plane is flying up in the sky, like that we can come to the level of sattva guna, and then fly to uh, then transcend to vishuddha sattva and go back to Godhead, where love for God is awakened in our heart, correct? When you have right shraddha. So by learning this, we can develop that right shraddha, that right faith, so that we can transcend to the spiritual world, correct? So that we should remember. So now next section, that is next 5 shlokas, um, Krishna is talking about the right spirit of performing all these things, that is sacrifice, austerity, and charity, yajna, dana, and tapa. Okay, and will now talk about the conclusion of this. So let us go to the next shloka. Yes, Navakishori Mataji, want to recite?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna, Srila
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai. Dandat pranam, Mataji. Om tatsat didi nirdesho brahmana strividah smurtah brahmana sena vedascha yagnascha vihitaha pura. Mataji, should I read translation and purport?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. For the beginning of creation, the three words Om Tassat were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. These three symbolic representations were used by Brahmana while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of the supreme purport. It has been explained that penance, sacrifice, charity, and foods are divided into three categories: the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. But whether first class, second class, or third class, they are all conditions contaminated by the material modes of nature. When they are aimed at the Supreme, Om Tassat, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Eternal, they became means for spiritual elevation. In the scriptural injunctions, such an objective is indicated. These three words, Om Tassat, particularly indicate the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead. In the Vedic hymns, the word Om is always found. One who acts without following the regulations of the scriptures will not attain the absolute truth. He will get some temporary results, but not the ultimate end of life. The conclusion is that the performance of charity, sacrifice, and penance must be done in the mode of goodness. Performed in the mode of passion or ignorance, they are certainly inferior in quality. The three words Om Tassat are uttered in conjunctions with the holy name of the Supreme Lord. Example Om Tat Vishnu. Whenever a Vedic hymns or the holy name of the Supreme Lord is uttered, Om is added. This is the indications of Vedic literature. These three words are taken from Vedic hymns. Om iti etada brahmano nedistham nama Rigveda indicates the first goal. Then Tattvam Asi Chandrodaya o Chandogya
Chandogya
Upanishad.
Upanishad.
Chandogya Upanishad, sorry, Mataji. 6.8.7 indicates the second goal. And Sada Eva Somya, Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.1 indicates the third goal. Combined, they became Om Tassat. Formerly, when Brahma, the first created living entity, performed sacrifices indicated by these three words, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the same principles has always been followed by disciplic succession. So this hymn has great significance. Bhagavad Gita recommends, therefore, that any work done should be done for Om Tassat or for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When one performs penance, charity, and sacrifice with these three words, he is acting in Krishna consciousness. Krishna conscious is a scientific execution of transcendental activities which enable one to return home back to Godhead. There is no loss of energy in acting in such a transcendental way. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So here Krishna is talking about these three words Om Tat Sat, right? So Krishna is saying here that from the beginning of the creation, these three words, they were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. So these three words indicate the supreme absolute truth. And it is written in the purport that how to purify our food, yajna, dana, and tapa, that is food and then sacrifices, charity, and austerity. How to do that? That is by when they are indicated by these three words. They are aimed at the supreme Om Tat Sat. That, and it then leads to spiritual elevation. Correct? So the three words, they particularly indicate the absolute truth. Okay, so these three words, Om Tat Sat, they indicate the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead. And you will see that in the Vedic hymns, the word Om is always found. You must have observed that many times the any stotra or any this thing starts with Om. Okay, like I remember that Ganpati stotra starts with Om Namaste Ganapataye, like that, isn't it? Or Ram Raksha, if you know, then Om Asya Sri Ram Raksha Stotra Mantrasya. So it starts with Om. So Om, it consists of three letters, A, U, and Ma, right? So A indicates the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. U is Urja or Radharani, the Shakti of the Lord. And Ma is nothing but living entities who are serving the Lord, servants of the Lord or devotees of the Lord. So that's why this Om indicates the absolute truth. And that's why it is chanted uh, uh, many a times in the Vedas or Vedic mantras. We can, and Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita that Pranava Sarva Vedeshu, correct? That I am the Om, right? And so if the, yeah, and what happens if one doesn't, one acts without following the scriptures? So it is written in the purport that one who acts without following the regulations of the scriptures will not attain the absolute truth. He will get only temporary result, but not the ultimate goal of life. What is the ultimate goal of life? Can anybody say quickly?
Go
Back to God.
God.
Back to God.
Correct. Right.
Go back.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji. So one will not attain that result, final, ultimate goal of life. No, he will get only some temporary results. And then, as I said, Om is indicated many a times in Vedas. It is written over here that performed. Okay. And one more thing is that is, the conclusion is that the performance of charity, sacrifice, penance must be done in the mood of goodness. If it is performed in these modes, then that is inferior in quality. Correct? So that we should understand. And these three words are uttered in conjunction with the holy name of the Supreme Lord. So generally it is used many a times whenever a Vedic hymn or holy name of the Supreme Lord is uttered, Om is added. And this is the indication of Vedic literature. These are taken from, and it is mentioned in the purport that Om is taken from Rigveda, and Tat Chandogya Upanishad, and Sat is also Chandogya Upanishad. So combined, they become Om Tat Sat, correct? And Brahma also previously performed the sacrifices indicating the Supreme Lord. Just a moment. Yeah, sorry, it was paused. Indicating the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Om indicates the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now Krishna will explain their meanings in each of the coming verses. That is, in 24th verse, Krishna will talk about Om. 25th, Krishna will talk about Tat. And 26 and 27, Krishna will talk about Sat. Okay, so Om indicates the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tat indicates the detached work for sake of liberation. And Sat are the activities done for the service of the Lord.
Mataji, can I say something?
Yes.
I
Yes.
I heard in a lecture, Mataji, they said that if you want to give charity or anything, first you said Om Tat Sat and do it, because that means like for the pleasure of the Lord.
Correct, correct. That is true.
Is it right?
Yes, Mataji, absolutely right.
Just want to clarify, Mataji.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
Mataji.
Om Tat Sat means we are connecting, we are doing everything. I mean, the activity we are connecting to the Lord, or as you said, we are doing that activity for the pleasure of the Lord, because Om Tat Sat means the Supreme Lord, right, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah, that is the correct understanding. So it is like so let's go to the next shloka. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji, the Tattvam Asi. So what does this mean?
Mataji. Yeah. So as I said, it will come in this 25th verse. Tat means the detached work for sake of liberation. Okay. So we will have little more elaboration in that verse. Okay, Mataji, will you wait till that time?
Sure, Mataji, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I thought it is like, Tattvam Asi. So I am, this is like Advaita philosophy. So, is it the same?
Yeah.
So maybe
No,
as you said,
Mataji.
I'll wait and then
Yeah.
we can discuss it
Yeah,
later.
actually, one example is there, like Om Tat Sat ke liye, like it is like a government of India. It is impersonal, right? You cannot see the form of that, isn't it? So that is nothing. I mean, when you say His Grace Radhesham Prabhu was giving this example. When we say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, so when we say Om, that is it refers to that uh, impersonal feature. Okay, we know that the supreme absolute truth we can realize in three aspects, right? Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Correct, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
So that Om, it is impersonal. It refers to the impersonal aspect. Then Bhagavate. Okay, that is, we know that Bhagavan is a person who is having all the six opulences in full. Correct?
Yes,
One who
Mataji.
possesses opulences in full is called as Bhagavan. So that is Paramatma realization. And Vasudevaya. Correct? So Vasudevaya is nothing but Vasudevaya. Vasudev is Vasa means reside, and Deva means the Lord who resides in hearts of all living entities. Okay, that is Vasudev, or son of Vasudev is also Vasudev. So that becomes personal, isn't it? When we take the name of the Lord, it becomes personal. So he was giving an analogy. It is like government of India, which is impersonal. Then if we say just prime minister, okay, prime minister is a post. So the Bhagavan we can call to anybody, correct? Right? And then if we say Narendra Modi, that becomes personal. So his relatives or his mother, his brother, his sister, they will call him by his name. They will not no talk to him as Indian government or prime minister. They will take his name and they will speak to him. Correct? So
Yes,
that way these three things are there. Okay, Mataji. And
Yes,
Tat is basically detached, means we'll do that in 25th shloka. It describes the detached work for the sake of liberation. Okay. For the pleasure of the Lord, basically. We are purpose is freedom. We want freedom from material entanglement, Mataji. So if we do any work done for the pleasure of the Lord, it frees us from this material entanglement. Is it clear, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah. So we'll go to this. Yeah, who wants to recite this shloka? We have not recited.
Shall I recite?
Yes, Padma Mataji.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tasmadomiti adharitya jnanadanatapakriya pravartante vidhanoktatha satatam brahma vadinam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Therefore, transcendentalists undertaking performances of sacrifice, charity, and penance in accordance with scripture begin always with Om to attain the Supreme. Purport. Om Tat Vishnu Paramam Padam. Rig Veda 122:20. The lotus feet of Vishnu are the supreme devotional platform. The performance of everything on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead assures the perfection of all activity. Thank you, Mataji. Many pranam.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So here, basically, we are trying to understand this Om, Tat, and Sat. So in this shloka, the auspiciousness, the Om is being praised. It is said that a transcendental is undertaking performances of sacrifice and charity in accordance with scriptural regulations begin always with Om, right? We know that Dhruva Maharaj also, what prayer, what mantra he was chanting? Anybody?
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Correct. So again, correct. Absolutely right. So again, starting with Om, right? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and Lord appeared before him. So what is the purpose of this Om? Chanting of the Om is, it helps one to remember the Lord. As we said, that Om indicates the Supreme Lord, and Om means Vishnu. This is placed at the beginning of the Vedic hymns to indicate the supreme goal and thus attain the supreme. Okay, that is the significance of Om. And also it is mentioned in the purport that Om Tad Vishnuhu Paramam Padam. The lotus feet of Vishnu are the supreme devotional platform, and the performance of everything on behalf of Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can attain perfection of all activities. Like we know that Lakshmi Devi is always sitting at the lotus feet of the Lord and massaging his feet. Correct? So that is the destination of all devotees of the Lord. Okay. So let us, one more this thing from Madhvacharya is, Om is all over creation, the Supreme Lord pervades by his internal potency with his omnipresence, and that is Om. Okay. Then as the Supreme Lord is glorified with greatest respect in all the Vedic scriptures, he is known as Tat. Okay, Mataji, so it is not Nirakar, it is indicating Tattvam Asi, means that Supreme Lord are you.
Yes, Mataji.
And then the last one is, since the Supreme Lord is perfect without any defects and completely auspicious, he is known as Sat. Sat is eternal, isn't it? So that is Om Tat Sat. So let us go to the next verse. Now it is glorifying the word Tat. Yes. Who wants to recite?
I'll recite, Mataji.
Yes.
Tad iti anabhisandhya palam yajna tapa kriya dana kriyascha vividhaha kriyante moksha kankshibihi. Without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kinds of sacrifice, penance, and charity with the word Tat. The purpose of such transcendental activities is to get free from material entanglement. Purport: to be elevated to the spiritual position, one should not act for any material gain. Act should be performed for the ultimate gain of being transferred to the spiritual kingdom, back to home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, as I said, this Tat is being praised in this verse, and Tat describes the detached work for the sake of liberation. Correct? And its purpose is freedom. We want freedom from material entanglement. Correct? And these activities are done with disregard for fruitive results. We are not interested in the results of our activities. So suppose if I'm doing any activity and I don't enjoy the fruits of that activity, then I give it to Krishna. Correct? Okay, so that these activities are we can call it as tat, right? Because devotees taking prasadam, remembering Krishna always and thanking Krishna for giving them everything. Okay, uh, no devotees they wash the pots in the temple or in house also for the pleasure of the Lord. Then cleaning the floor, uh, cutting fruits, preparing bhoga for Lord. All these activities, they are connected to the Lord. Preparation, making preparations for Aarti of the Lord. All these activities are, this is called Tat, as the devotees are detached from the fruits of these activities because they, they are doing all these activities only for the pleasure of the Lord. They don't want anything in return from these activities, right? It is like Tera Tujhko Arpan. Lord, I am taking everything from you. We know that everything belongs to Lord only, and we are giving it back to Him. Like in Ganga, if we go to river Ganga, we take water in our hand and we offer it back to Ganga. So we are taking water from Ganga river only and offering it back to Ganga while bathing in Ganga. That it is like that. So we are taking everything and giving it back to Lord again. Thinking that everything belongs to you, Krishna, and all activities I'm doing for your pleasure. Right? One of that shloka is there, Kaina vacha manasendriyeva buddhyatmanava prakriti swabhava karomi adyat sakalam parasmai narayanayati samarpayami. Correct? So whatever kaya, vacha, manasa, whatever I'm doing, I'm offering it to you. I am doing it for your pleasure. That is tat. Detached work is tat. Mataji, is that clear, or any you have any further question on this?
No, Mataji, it's clear. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Yes, yes. So that is tat, and now we'll go to the next shloka. Yes.
Mataji, sorry to disturb you.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when you spoke about this Ganga, in case I forget, so they also, when we do Arpan, we say no, Om Keshavaya Namaha Narayana Namaha.
Correct.
That's all, no?
Yes,
That's
yes.
all, no, Mataji?
Yes, that is Achaman. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
So
Just
if you
wanted to
now if you try to connect, you will find that as it was mentioned in the purport, every mantra Om is there in the beginning, or somewhere in the middle or at the end, isn't it? So indicating, reminding us always of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now if you chant those mantras, you will immediately have that thing in mind that I'm connecting with the Supreme Lord, isn't it?
Yeah, Mataji, at home also, when you're doing before Aarti or anything, before offering, when do Archaman, then also we say, no? Om Keshavaya Namaha, all that, those three things.
Yes,
so
correct.
Now I know Om, what is Om?
That's what. So now you can connect it. Yeah, it is nothing but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we are doing everything for Him, isn't it?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, who wants to recite the shloka? Yes, anybody who has not recited?
Maybe shall I go ahead, Mataji?
Yes. Okay. Sindhu Mataji. Mataji, you have done previously?
No, Mataji.
Okay, you can.
Yeah, I can. Haribol. Prabhupada ki jai.
Yes, Mataji.
It's sad bhave sadhu bhave cha sat iti etat prayujyate prashashte karmani tata sat shabdah partayujyate yagne tapasidhani cha stiti sat iti chochyate karma chaiva tad artiyam sat iti eva vidiyate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The absolute truth is the objective of devotional sacrifice, and it is indicated by the word Sat. The performer of such sacrifice is also called Sat, as are all the works of sacrifice, penance, and charity, which, true to the absolute nature, are performed to please the Supreme Person, O son of Pritha. Purport?
Yeah, Mataji, yes, you can read the purport also.
Very good. The words prashashte karmani, or prescribed duties, indicate that there are many activities prescribed in the Vedic literature which are purificatory processes beginning from the time of conception up to the end of one's life. Such purificatory processes are adopted for the ultimate liberation of the living entity. In all such activities, it is recommended that one vibrate Om Tat Sat. The words Sat Bhave and Sadhu Bhave indicate the transcendental situation. Acting in Krishna consciousness is called Sattva, and one who is fully conscious of the activities of Krishna consciousness is called as Sadhu. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25.25, it is said that the transcendental subject matter becomes clear in the association of the devotees. The words used are Satam Prashangat. Without good association, one cannot achieve transcendental knowledge. When initiating a person or offering the sacred thread, one vibrates the words Om Tat Sat Sat. Similarly, in all kinds of performance of yajna, the object is the Supreme, Om Tat Sat. The word Tat Artiyam further means offering service to anything which represents the Supreme, including such service as cooking and helping in the Lord's temple or any other kind of work for broadcasting the glories of the Lord. These supreme words, Om Tat Sat, are thus used in many ways to perfect all activities and make everything complete. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So here the word Sat is glorified. So Sat means auspicious, means which produces eternal results, or it is imperishable. Okay, and Sat Bhave, Sadhu Bhave. Sat Bhave means for the pleasure of the Lord. Okay, and everything thinking of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, remembering the Lord. No, whenever you are eating food also, we should think that how Krishna has given us all these grains and fruits and vegetables, and that's why we are able to eat it. So remembering, then also you thanking Krishna that you have sent devotees to purify me and elevate to spiritual world. Correct? Whatever Krishna has given Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and all scriptures, Puranas to study. So all these gifts are received from, are given by Krishna only. So being thankful for all these things, that is the mood in which we are remembering Krishna. So Sad Bhave. And Sadhu Bhave means saintly association. Like Shukadev Goswami is giving association to Parikshit Maharaj. He is narrating Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, right? So that is saintly association, and he is giving association to all the sages gathered there on the banks of Ganga. Also, Srila Prabhupada, he gave association to all the Western devotees, correct? So that is Sadhu Bhava. So everything, connecting everything to Krishna, doing everything in relationship with Krishna, right? That is Sadbhave and Sadhu Bhave. Okay, because we want to achieve the ultimate perfection of life. Like iron rod. Iron rod, if we put in fire, then it does not no more remain as iron rod, but it becomes fiery, very hot. Correct? It becomes red hot. And with that rod, if we bring that rod near a paper or cotton, it will burn that. So it has achieved that fiery quality of fire, isn't it? So similarly, when we engage our body, mind, words, everything in the service of the Lord for the pleasure of the Lord, then we acquire that spiritual quality. Correct? And then we can go back to Godhead. So all the things, Rupa Goswami has said, Krishnarthe Akhila Cheshta. Cheshta means activities. So Akhila Cheshta means all activities, whatever we are doing, if we do it for the pleasure of the Lord, that is Krishnarthe Akhila Cheshta. Like Prabhupada is also mentioning in the end that cooking, helping in Lord's cooking and helping in Lord's temple, helping in the Lord's temple. So all these activities, if we connect it to Krishna, then that will purify us, and we can elevate to spiritual world. Like people are doing lot of things, like the farmers, they can offer the whatever fruits and vegetables they are producing, they can offer it in the service of the Lord, correct? They can give it to the temple. Then somebody who is doing business of marble stones, he can offer marble for for the floor of the temple, isn't it? So whatever activity you are doing, correct? If somebody is a good painter, he can paint nice pictures of the Lord, or he can paint the he can paint the temple, correct? So whatever qualifications or whatever businesses you are doing, if you offer it for the pleasure of the Lord, it becomes spiritual. You are connected to Krishna, you are doing it for the pleasure of the Krishna, and you can elevate to the spiritual world. So these are some of the things. And now the last shloka, and we will complete the 17th chapter. Yes, who wants to recite?
Hare Krishna Mataji, shall I?
Yes.
Ashraddaya hutam dattam tapastapam taptam kritam chayat asad idi uchyate partha nacha tat pretya no hi iha. Translation.
I'm sorry. Yes, Mataji.
Translation. Anything done as sacrifice, charity, or penance without faith in Supreme, O son of Pritha, is impermanent. It is called asat and is useless both in this life and the next.
Yes, Mataji, read the purport also.
Yes, Mataji, thank you. Anything done without the transcendental objective, whether it be sacrifice, charity, or penance, is useless. Therefore, in this verse, it is declared that such activities are abominable. Everything should be done for the Supreme in Krishna consciousness. Without such faith and without proper guidance, there can never be any fruit. In all Vedic scriptures, faith in the Supreme is advised. In the pursuit of all Vedic instructions, the ultimate goal is the understanding of Krishna. No one can obtain success without following this principle. Therefore, the best course is to work from the very beginning in Krishna consciousness under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. That is the way to make everything successful. In the conditioned stage, people are attracted to worshipping demigods, ghosts, or yakshasas like Kuvera, the mode of goodness in better than the mode of passion and ignorance. But one who takes directly to Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all three modes of material nature. Although there is a process of gradual elevation, if one by the association of pure devotees takes directly to Krishna consciousness, that is the best way, and that is recommended in this chapter. To achieve success in this way, one must first find a proper spiritual master and receive training under his direction. Then one can achieve the faith in Supreme. When that faith matures in course of time, it is called love of God. This love is the ultimate goal of living entities. One should therefore take to Krishna consciousness directly. That is the message of this 17th chapter. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 17th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of divisions of faith. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So here now, up till now, we were talking about faith and charity, austerity, sacrifices in the three modes. But now here, Krishna is telling about asat, correct? So everything done with faith is glorified, but if anything which is done without faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead is condemned. That's what Krishna is saying. That anything done without the transcendental objective is useless. Correct? So religious activity not done in proper consciousness is practically useless. That's what Krishna is trying to tell here. Like Hiranyakashipu, he did tapasya, but his intention was not pure, isn't it? He wanted to kill the demigods. He wanted to kill Vishnu. He wanted to take revenge of his, because Lord Varahadev had killed his brother Hiranyaksha. So he wanted to take revenge of that. Okay. So his intention was not pure at all. So such activities, so anything without faith in the Supreme, like we said, Sat is eternal and permanent, isn't it? But here we see that anything without faith in the Supreme is impermanent. It is temporary and it is perishable. It is useless. Prabhupada writes in the purport that it is useless both in this life also and next life also. So Shraddha is the most important word we can see in everything. Correct? Hare Krishna, if somebody's mic is on, please mute yourself. Yeah, so Shraddha is the most important thing, because Krishna in 15th chapter says, Vedaischa sarver ahameva vedyo. So unless and until we have faith, we cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one studies if one studies scriptures faithfully, but if one doesn't study the scriptures faithfully, then one will not have faith in deity form of the Lord, isn't it? Because faith is not there. He will not have faith in Guru. He will not have faith in Vaishnavas, correct? And he will not get the spiritual fruits also. So when we chant the holy names of the Lord, when we follow the 4 regulative principles, correct, then gradually we can develop faith. We know that the first the first step is Adau Shraddha, Tatha Sadhu Sanga, Tatha Bhajana Kriya, Tatha Anartha Nivrutti. So that way it goes till the Prema stage, isn't it? So Adau Shraddha, Shraddha is the most important thing. And then only gradually we can develop love for Godhead. There will be gradual elevation if we follow the process sincerely and seriously. Correct? Like a mother, she does everything for her child, isn't it? She bathes the child, then she dresses the child, she decorates the child with ornaments, she puts powder and everything. So if somebody asks that why are you wasting so much time in doing all these things? So anybody can do that. No, you can give this to somebody, but no. Why? Because she likes, she loves her child, and so she is spending time doing all these, taking care of the child. Similarly, when we perform activities for the Lord, we don't feel those activities to be troublesome or burdensome, we can say. And gradually, by performing such activities, we can develop love for Godhead. Correct? And then, so somebody may say that, I am very sattvic and I am eating only vegetarian food. Correct? But if we offer the same food to the Lord, then it comes to the level of Shuddha Sattva or Vishuddha Sattva. We know that these 3 modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, above them is the Vishuddha Sattva. Correct? When we do all these, do the pious activities in connection with the Lord, that is Vishuddha Sattva. Correct? So somebody may say that, I am honestly earning money. I'm not doing any cheating. I'm not taking any bribes and all. But if we are offering some portion of that money to Krishna, then it goes to Vishuddha Sattva. Correct? Then somebody is saying, I'm living in this house, I have not encroached on anybody's property. But if we build nice altar in the home, in that house, then it becomes divine as it is connected to the Lord. Similarly, students staying in a flat, okay? So if they all are engaged in Krishna service, they are getting up early in the morning, they are doing Mangalarti, they are eating Krishna Prasad, they are reading, they are discussing Krishna Katha, then that flat, you can say it is kind of a spiritual flat. But on contrast, some other students living in the next flat, if they are indulged in drinking, smoking, going to movies and having parties, then that is material flat, isn't it? So spiritual activities, the goal is to please Krishna, and material activities, the goal is to gratify own senses. Correct? So obedience, when there is obedience to the scriptures, then gradually faith will develop. Correct? But blind faith is useless. That also we should know. Correct? So without knowledge of scriptures, if one has some faith in somebody, that is useless. So the ultimate, what is the gist of this 17th chapter? Actually, 13 to the last 6 chapters, all these, they are practical ways we can apply these things, because it is called as Jnana Yoga, right? First 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, they deal with Karma Yoga. Then the middle 6 are Bhakti Yoga, and the last 6 are Jnana Yoga. And this the knowledge from these chapters we can apply in our lives. That's why I said that now what is the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So you can find out the qualities of the mode of goodness. What all things you can do, you should do to get the mode of goodness, to attain the mode of goodness. So you can you can meditate on it, you can practically work on it, and you can try to cultivate the mode of goodness in you. Correct? So that we have to come first to the mode of goodness, and then we can transcend this mode also. When we connect everything to Krishna, then we go to the Vishuddha Sattva, and then we can go back to Godhead. So simple formula Prabhupada is giving in this chapter, that find a guru, then you should receive a training under him that will help in development of faith, Shraddha. And when that faith matures, it is called love of God, and which is nothing but ultimate goal of our life. And that's why one must take to Prabhupada is last sentence. Prabhupada is saying that one should take to Krishna consciousness directly, so that we can go, all of us can go back to Godhead. Correct? So thus we end the 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So anybody has any doubts or any questions or any comments, you can share. Otherwise, we will stop here.
Mataji, I'm having a doubt.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, Lord Krishna declares to Arjuna that my devotee never perishes. But in Brahman realization, you told this is Sat, and Paramatma realization is Chit, and Ananda is Satchit Ananda, Bhagwan realization. Yes. But in this Brahman realization also, there will be fall down, no Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. That's why it is called as impartial realization. No? It is not perfect. Bhagwan is the perfect realization of the Lord, Mataji. So these are Brahman and Paramatma, they are partial realizations of the Lord.
But even though if we reach up to there also, there will be fall down, no Mataji. But Krishna tells that if you if you are my devotee, then there will
But
be no
Mataji,
follow.
they are not in Brahman and Paramatma. They are not serving the Lord directly, na Mataji. That also we should understand. Like,
Okay.
like in bhakti yoga, we are doing activities for the pleasure of the Lord. Correct? We are not renouncing any activity. Yes or no, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
So we are doing all activities, but the center is Krishna. But Brahman and Paramatma, in Brahman realization, they just want to merge in the effulgence of the Lord, Mataji. So there is no activity. Are you understanding?
There will be no activity, so there will be fall down.
Correct. So the nature of the soul is to be active, isn't it? We cannot sit idle for a long time. Yes or no? Do you agree with that?
Yes, Mataji.
For some time we may feel, wow, I'm relaxed, I don't have to do anything, no, I'm happy. But after some time you will feel something, and you will start, and you will get up and you will start doing something. Yes or no?
Yes, Mataji, but it is
Yeah.
also God's abode only, no, Mataji. My question is,
It
is also Krishna's abode.
It is not, that's what, it is not actually Krishna's abode. It is the effulgence of his body, and they are going in there. They are not going to Golok Vrindavan, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
That's
thank
why
you.
they come back, Mataji.
Thank
Hare
you. Thank
Krishna,
you.
Mataji. One more
Yes.
small doubt, Mataji.
Yes.
I did not get that Tattvam Asi meaning. Just can you please once more?
Mataji, Tattvam Asi means detached from the fruits. As I said, that as Supreme Lord is glorified with the greatest respect in all the Vedic scriptures, he is known as Tat. Tat Tvam
Yeah.
Asi means that
Okay.
Lord, you are that Lord, Mataji.
Okay.
That is the meaning.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay,
Yes,
Mataji,
Mataji.
just want
Wait.
to ask.
Previously, who was asking? I don't know the name of Mataji. Mataji, who was asking about that Brahman Paramatma?
Yes, Mataji. Me, Swati.
Swati Mataji. Okay. Mataji, your doubt is clear.
Yes, Mataji. But I thought that also there is God's abode only. So I asked it.
Yeah. No, it is not. Ultimate Mataji, ultimate goal is Golok Vrindavan. That is not Golok Vrindavan, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Padma, who wants to ask?
Yes, me, Mataji.
Yes.
Now, see, when we used to do Damodar Aarti, we go from house to house after the Aarti, ask for charity, to give whatever they can. When these people money, we don't know who is earning in which way. Right? Some may be earning illegal way, some may be earning gambling, some may be doing stock market, whatever. So when they give this money on charity, so do they get blessed, or is it so what happens to that? What is their state when they give that money for Krishna?
Definitely, Mataji. I mean, they get little purification, because ultimately they are offering it to the Lord, isn't it? So sometimes sometimes people. I was hearing this example that abhi Janmashtami ke liye we do fund collection, isn't it? So people ask for that ATG milega exemption, income tax ke liye. And if you tell them that you will not get, then they are not interested in giving, because while giving charity also, they are looking after their own benefit, isn't it? So that is there, but at least they are giving something, so they will definitely get some sukruti, Mataji. Because anything you swalpam apyasya dharmasya, we say that, na? So whatever little you do, it will be preserved. Correct? You will get some good result of it. That doesn't purify, as you said, you don't know in what way they are earning money. Correct? So that will not purify their money as such. But they are doing little in the service of the Lord, so they will get some sukruti. That is for sure.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Just wanted to know.
Yeah. Yes, anybody else has any doubts? Otherwise, we will stop. Any questions, any comments, or any one point you are taking home today, that also you can share, Mataji or Prabhuji. Yes, anybody would like to share?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
In Dhruva's example also, we'll see that he see Paramatma, but he will not feel Bhagavan realization. Is it right, Mataji?
Actually, he got darshan of Lord, no, Mataji?
But before that, Paramatma.
Yes, he was meditating on the Lord in his heart, and that same Lord appeared before him, Mataji. That is the thing.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, that is correct. And see, Dhruva also went for some material benefit only, isn't it? But when he got darshan of the Lord, his existence was purified. And then when Lord came in front of him and asked him, no, tell whatever you want. And then at that time he said, I don't want anything. I just want to serve you. So he was purified, and like now he was no more interested in asking some material benefits from the Lord. That is we can say, result of if we sincerely take the names of the Lord, then how heart gets purified. That is the example of that.
And you mean to say, Mataji, even the Paramatma realization also, they will be having desires.
Hare Krishna Mataji, sorry to interfere. There's Kannada Bhagavatam session at 12:40.
Yes, Mataji.
Sorry, Mataji.
Yeah, no problem, Mataji. I was about to stop only. Who was asking question? Mataji, can you tell your name?
Swati Mataji.
Swati Mataji.
Yes.
Okay. Mataji,
even my question is, even in Paramatma realization also, they will be having desires. Material
Mataji,
desires.
Not material desires. Mataji, shall I send you a voice message or so for this answer? Because they have class at 12:45.
Yes, Mataji. Next class also it is okay.
Yeah,
Mataji.
next class is okay now. So I will definitely will you send the question on the group, and I will definitely answer it next time, Mataji. Is that okay?
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Anand koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Vaishnav Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Pranam.